Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Tabletop Simulator and another game of Solo Spirit Island, because I enjoyed the last one. If you are not familiar with this game, there's a link at the top of the description to the first video where I played Spirit Island where I explained all the rules. I will not be explicitly explaining all the rules in this video, although honestly, the game's straightforward enough that you could probably get it just by watching. But today we're playing as the Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares, for a couple of reasons. Number one, I really dig this aesthetic. It's a nice, like, Hela from Thor Ragnarok bit of headgear that he has on. By the way, if you haven't seen Thor Ragnarok, can't recommend it enough. But the real reason I'm interested in playing this guy today, the biggest reason, is that I saw a thread on Board Game Geek where people were rating the spirits according to their power level, and Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares was pretty much universally ranked lowest. And that makes me curious. I'm always interested in elements of games that are perceived as being too weak or bad, and I don't know why it is exactly, but so we're gonna try this out. We're gonna see if it's just as bad as they say it is. Today's adversary is the Kingdom of Brandenburg-Prussia. Now, I know we're playing a spirit who is ranked quite a bit below the one we played last time. Apparently, it turns out Thunder Speaker is pretty highly regarded, and I can see why. We still did win quite handily in the last game, so we're going to turn the dial up a little bit here. We're going to play against level 2, Brandenburg-Prussia. So, fast start. We added an extra town to the board during setup. And the Invader deck has the first level 3 card between the 1s and the 2s. So, early on, we're going to see the first card. We're going to see a card that has 2 different terrain types on it. That might make us lose. Honestly, this does seem like it's going to be much more difficult. And Brandenburg-Prussia has an interesting interaction with our stuff. So, our special rule is to dream 1,000 deaths. Our powers don't cause damage and can't destroy things. When a power of ours would deal enough damage to destroy a thing, or just destroy a thing outright, instead we generate power, or we generate fear, and then the power pushes all of the explorers and towns that it would have destroyed. Cities stay in place. Single power cannot destroy a given invader more than once. Powers which cause damage via Dahan are affected just like all others. All other damage and destroy effects work as usual, so things like damage that the Dahan deal because of the Ravage phase that's still real damage. If an event or a fear card causes damage or destroys stuff, that will still happen normally. And our innate powers are, if we have fast speed, if we have 2 white, 2 purple, we get to turn a face-down fear card face-up. It's still earned and resolved as normal, but we can see it. So that could be useful. And if we have 3 white, target spirit gains an element they have at least 1 of. That's interesting. Probably not super relevant for us, because 3 white is the most stringent requirement we have on any of our powers. But it could be relevant for like a major power we pick up that has threshold stuff on it. And then our other power is Night Terrors. It has 0 range and requires the target land to have invaders, so only in a place where we have presence with invaders. But it just generates a bunch of fear. And as you can see, all of our cards are white. Half of them are purple, half of them are red. So we should be able to get 1 fear off of this trivially, and we can probably get the second line to fire most of the time if we're careful. We have 2 card plays most of the way through our card plays line, about halfway through our card plays line anyway, so that's kind of annoying. The card plays line feels pretty soft. It does end in an any element. This is not one of each, this is one of one. Every turn you have to decide what you're treating this as, and it's that for the whole turn, is my understanding of the rules. We have another one of those in our presence line. In addition, there's a purple right here and a white right there, so we want to try to get those pretty early, I think. And we have 2 card plays and 2 energy per turn to start with. So let's get going here. The card position right now is there's going to be a build in jungles on the first turn, so it'd be cool if we could remove some guys from some jungles. We have within 1 range of a sacred site, slow, 2 damage, and then push up to 2 Dahan. And remember that the damage is not real damage. Fast, range 1, targets invaders. When powers generate fear in target land, defend 1 per fear, and then generate a fear. That's pretty cool. Call on Midnight's Dreams. Targets a land where you have presence. If the target land has Dahan, gain a major power. If you forget this power... Oh, if you forget Call on Midnight's Dreams as the power that you must forget to learn the major power, then you gain energy equal to the Dahan in the territory, and you can play the major power immediately. Or you can target an area where invaders are present and get 2 fear. And Dreams of the Dahan, gather up to 2 Dahan, or if target land has buildings, 1 fear for each Dahan to a maximum of 3 fear. Alright, so as you can tell, this guy is very fear-focused. So the reason I said that we might have interesting interactions with this enemy is that we're going to see more colonists and stuff than we ordinarily would due to that surge of colonist ability and also them starting with an additional building. And we're bad at dealing with colonists. So there's going to be blight problems, I suspect. We're going to have trouble with ravages. But their fear deck at level 2 is only 9 cards instead of the 10 that we saw with England. And we're so much better at generating fear that I think getting through the fear deck, obviously, is our intended win condition. And I think, we might be able to do it. So, first things first. We are picking turn 1 growth phase. We definitely want to get to this moon, I think. So we want to play out presence pretty quickly. We don't have a 2 presence option. We're going to get 2 energy, and our total energy cost for our entire hand is only 4. So I guess the question is, do we want to play both of our 2 energy cards on this first turn? 2 damage and push up to 2 Dahan. No, we definitely don't need to play Dread Apparitions the first turn, because there's no Ravage on the first turn. So, the reason I wanted to ask that first is that if we wanted to play both of our 2 power cards, then this is a very strong growth option, because it gives us the energy to do so. Since we don't need that, let's look at something else. Well, these are both reclaim-based. We don't need those. So let's do this. We'll add a presence and gain a power card. So the first thing we're going to do is take this. This is definitely going to be the presence we add. Add it within 1 range. Well, we have to... Let's see. We have a couple of powers that have 1 range. We have a couple of powers that have 0 range. So we really need to get coverage, especially of places where we know there are going to be invaders. This play gets us adjacent to every land on the board except for this one. That's probably a good start. We probably need to start moving out toward all these dudes. Okay, so now we have purple, and we gain a power card. We're going to go minor, obviously. I do not think it is a good idea to go for a major card right away when, first of all of your starting powers are good, and secondly, there's no way you could afford to play a major. Flesh Rot Fever. Targets a jungle or sands, get a fear, add a disease. That is potentially really important, because we're so bad at dealing with placed invaders, preventing them from placing stuff might be really valuable. Also, it does have purple and red on it. Although I guess white is the symbol we're bottlenecked on the most. Call to Ferocity. Slow speed, gather up to 3 Dahan, or if target land has Dahan, fear, and push an invader, or push an explorer and a town. That's okay. Not bad. If target land has your presence, 1 fear and 1 damage. If the land is a sand or wetland, an additional 1 damage. And it's slow. Or Scour the Land. Within 2 range of a sacred site, destroy 3 towns and all explorers. Add a blight. And if you have 3 purple, this power may be fast. And we will probably have 3 purple most of the time. We already have a free purple. And we have 2 other purple cards. So a fast destroy 3 towns and all explorers. Remember, it won't destroy them, but it will push them, and it will also generate 2 fear for every town that it hits. My concern here is that we don't really have a way of dealing with blight right now. I don't know that we can afford to place additional blight. We're going to... blight is going to be the way we lose if we lose. So I kind of think maybe we should take Flesh Rot Fever or Pull Beneath the Hungry Earth. I mean, we could group towns up and we could just push towns around the map, gaining 4 to 6 fear every time. Because right, if this hits 2 guys, it's a whole fear card. If it hits 2 towns, it's a whole fear card. But no, we can't play it a lot because we can't afford to add a lot of blight. I'm going to take Flesh Rot Fever. We want fear cards. Adding disease is valuable. Keep the invaders from growing too much. Alright, so then we get our income of 2. And what are we going to play? This is a little tricky because Flesh Rot Fever is, at its best, played after an Explore 2 sands or jungles, and you can't really predict that. It's still good, I think. But I think we do want to play Predatory Nightmares. This will give us some control over the end of the turn. And that's a white and a red, and we have a purple. So now we're on level 1 of Night Terrors. And if we play a white-purple card, we'll be level 2 Night Terrors, and we'll also have the top part of Spirits May Yet Dream. So we could gather up to 2 Dahan if target land has... If target land has buildings, 1 fear for each Dahan to a maximum of 3. So we could play this targeting here and get 2 fear out of it. And then when we use this to push a town or something, that'll be a fear card right there. Actually, if we play this, we get 2 fear out of it. And then Night Terrors also gives us 2 fear. Right, because we'll have 2 white. Well, 2 white, 2 purple, and a red. Wow, it's actually really easy to get the bottom line of this power once we have this moon symbol out. So maybe I do want to play Dreams of the Dahan. Or I guess this is also a very easy way to get... Yeah, we can play Call on Midnight's Dreams just targeting here, and that gives me 2 fear. And it means we still have Dreams of the Dahan available in case we need to use a fast speed gather effect. So if we did play this... Yeah, we still have the symbols. We have 2 white. We don't have 2 purple anymore. But that's fine. We'll just take our fear cards blind. That'll be fine. Okay, I like this. So, first thing is, Call on Midnight's Dreams, targeting here. Invaders are present. Let's get 2 fear. Next thing is Night Terrors. 0 range. Targets where there are invaders. 1 fear plus 1 fear. So there you go. We got our first fear card immediately. Then we don't have it. We don't have this one, and this one's slow, so we're done. Let's get our first event. I'm not sure if I shuffled these or not. Missionaries arrive. They teach and spread lessons of a foreign god. You may ignore their contact with the Dahan. For each board, discard the top minor power, so we just flip this over into the discard pile. And if it has a yellow symbol, we will push an explorer from a land with Dahan. Otherwise, replace a Dahan with a town. That would not be great. After resolving this, return it to the event deck under the top 2 cards. Ugh. Or Curse the Tongues of the Foreigners. Cost 4 energy, aided by yellow. Each spirit, add a disease to a land with a city, and 2 fear per player. And then during the next normal ravage, cities deal a huge amount of damage, a really crazy amount of damage. Unfortunately, we literally don't have the choice of playing that second one. Oh, I didn't pay for my power. Oops. Because we don't have any power, and we don't have any yellow symbols to use to abuse it. So, unfortunately, we have to do the top thing. Ignore their contact. So, for each board, discard the top minor power. It has yellow. That's good. Push 1 explorer from a land with Dahan. Okay. I guess let's group them up for later control. And then return this to the event deck under the top 2 cards. So we've got that much time to either get 4 energy accumulated or to get ourselves some yellow cards. Alright, so 2 cards out. That there. And then these go on top. Okay. So, on turn 4, that card's going to reassert. We need to have a yellow card to pay the cost by then, or we just need to have 4 energy banked. Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't finish resolving that. There's a thing on the bottom. Each beast destroys an explorer. Add one beast to... Okay, that actually doesn't do anything. Never mind. And then we get our fear card. Each player may push up to 2 explorers from an inland land. Well, that deals with this. My slow power... Okay, my slow power can affect up here and stuff. Yeah, so we'll just get this guy out of that jungle. And now there's no guys in jungles, and the build's not going to do anything. Actually, fantastic. Yeah, that worked out really well. So we do the Explorer actions now, no Ravage, a build that means nothing, and an Explore to the Wetlands. Actually, really good. This is a very good start. So these guys don't have any actual rules to process, like no triggered effects, except for the escalation, of course. Okay, not a problem. So the Ravages, also meaningless. That's really good. We got a lot of time here to think about what we're doing. And now we got this slow phase. So within 1 range of a sacred site, 2 damage, push up to 2 Dahan. Well, we could target here, right? We could do damage to this guy, which doesn't destroy him, but instead pushes him, and then we could push this Dahan over here. But I think what we actually want to do is do 2 damage to the town, which won't destroy it, but will push it, and will also generate us 2 fear. And then push up to 2 Dahan is irrelevant, because there aren't any Dahan here. So I'm going to target this. We're going to push this town over here. Actually, hold on. Should I push the town to the jungle? It'll Ravage. But if we play Dread Apparitions, give this land defend 1, then nothing bad will happen. Right, because it gives defend 1 per fear generated in that land, and then generates 1 fear to set up one point of thing. And then the Dahan will, in retaliation, destroy the town. Yeah, let's do that. We'll push it this way. And we get 2 fear for having pushed a town. For having quote-unquote destroyed a town. Psychically ruined a town. Yeah. That feels pretty good. I think we're in a good place here. So that's the end of that turn. Now, we need... I'd really like to place this presence, honestly. So we could just do this option again. We could add this presence to like here, and then we actually are adjacent to all of the territories. It gives us a lot of control. And then we can start doing like reclaim 1 card, add presence within 0 range to build up sacred sites. I think that's a fine way to go. So let's gain a power card, and then we'll get 3. Here we go. Then we'll get 3 energy, and I'm going to gain a minor. Show me some yellows. Okay, there's a yellow one. What does this do? Target spirit gains 2 energy. At end of turn, that spirit may reclaim a power card instead of discarding it. If you target another spirit, you may also reclaim 1 power card. That's pretty cool. The only reason we'd be taking this is so that we can forget it when that event shows back up, to reduce the cost by 4, to 0. Let's have a look at the other ones, though. It may be that there's one that's so good that it's worth just paying 4 energy to vanish that other thing. So a slow card that only targets mountains and jungles, fear at a beast, or if the land has beasts, destroy a town. That's actually pretty interesting. It's got a white and a red on it. Animated Recruit, slow, 0 range, a fear, destroy an explorer or add a wilds, pretty good. And Dark Entangled Woods, 2 fear, if land is a mountain or a jungle, defend 3. These are actually all pretty good cards. And I think white symbols are the ones we care most about. All of the ones that aren't Gift of Constancy have a white symbol. But I think we should take Gift of Constancy, just consider that event dealt with. And remember, when it shows up, it's actually quite good if we pay for it. It's also going to cause our beasts to devour an explorer, so we should try to see if we can get this beast token and an explorer in the same zone for when that shows up. And then we take our income. I'm going to take it as 3 singles, because we're going to spend 2 of it this turn, but I think only 2. So we're playing Dread Apparitions. Dread Apparitions is going to give us control over here. That requires a place within one range, so we had to place a presence here to make this work. And then we're not in a lot of trouble outside of that, so do I want to maybe do Flesh Rot Fever? Just place a preemptive disease in this sand or something, maybe? We do have the energy for it. Or we could play Dreams of the Dawn. Actually, where are we at on our abilities right now? Flesh Rot Fever gives us a red. But we don't have 2 whites, so a red doesn't do anything. We can just do this. Gather up to 2 Dahan, or generate a bunch of fear. We'll probably use it for the latter. So that gives us white, purple, purple. So we'll take this thing and we'll take level 1 of Night Terrors. Yeah, that's fine. So let's do it. First of all, level 1 of Night Terrors. Targeting here. We get a fear. Then we do Dread Apparitions. Oh, I have to pay for my powers. That would be a good idea. Alright, those go in the 3. Alright, Dread Apparitions. Targeting here. They land with invaders within 1 range of our presence. Defend 1 per fear generated in this land, and then generate 1 fear. So that is another card. And we get to turn it face... Well, hold on. We get to turn any face-down fear card face up. So, I think, given that we don't have a lot of interesting decisions left to make this turn, I'm not going to turn this one face up. Let's turn this one face up. We can plan around this. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen here, and I think we already are too late to build around it. Let's turn you face up. And remember, when this card gets played, we'll go to fear level, or terror level 2. So it'll be each player removes an explorer and a town from a land with beasts, or 1 explorer from a land adjacent to beasts. Okay, so if we can get a beast, if we can get this beast token into a place with a town, or push a town into the beast token or something, we can make some stuff happen. Alright, good to know. And then we have Dreams of the Dahan. If gather up to 2 Dahan, I think we actually have our guys where we want them to be. Or we'll target here. Target land has buildings, 1 fear for each Dahan to a maximum of 3. So here we'll just generate 2 more fear. We are kind of tearing it up over here on the fear front. I think this is going really well. Alright, now Invader Phase. So, first of all, search for new lands. In each land with at least 2 explorers, push 1 explorer to an adjacent land without invaders. Are we... Oh, we do have a place where that is a thing. We don't really super care. I'll push him to here. I don't know if we're going to be able to get cool stuff to happen. We can at the very least get him eaten by a beast. And then... Okay. And then Distant Hunt. On each board, push 1 beast to an adjacent land with no blight. It deals 1 damage there. So actually, we push this guy to here and he deals 1 damage here, killing this explorer, and thus preventing the build. And then during Ravage in every land, defend 1 per Dahan in the land. Okay, well that's not necessary, but it's never bad to see. And now let's see what the fear card that we already earned was. It is Defend 2 in all lands with presence. Okay, well, we have a huge amount of unnecessary defense this turn. Then we do this stuff, Ravage. This town deals no damage and then is counter-murdered. So that's a fear for us. And then there are no other Ravages. Then we have a build in the wetlands, but only 1 of them. And then we have an Explore in the mountains. Ah, but not here. There are no buildings left. We're actually doing a really good job of controlling things. So... it would be really cool if we could get either the beast to this town or the town to this beast. We don't have any slow powers, right? Yeah, okay, so the turn's over. Now we must pick a growth. It's not this turn that we're going to have the big event, it's next turn. I don't think we want to play this. And I don't think we need to play that, really. I mean, it can... It can add a disease here. That's never going to be bad. Actually, a disease here might even be more relevant, just to prevent this from building and then spreading guys out toward the edge. But I think I do want to get this moon symbol out, so why don't we do this? We'll reclaim 1, add a presence in range 0, and this way we have a sacred site adjacent to every land on the board except for this clear, Dahan-filled jungle. That's probably good. And now it's possible for us to get much better stuff. And now we get to reclaim 1. What do we want to reclaim? We have moon. So we have white-purple for free. If we could play a white and a red, that would be really cool. It would get us double fear out of our night terrors. And we do have, okay, there is a land where we coexist with invaders. Actually, that's something that's really important to maintain. They can't have nightmares if they aren't near us. So we get to reclaim 1. We'd like it to be a white-red card. Predatory Nightmares is a pretty good card, and it's, as a slow card that has a bunch of pushes on it, it's a really nice, I don't know what to do right now, let's make the decision later type card. We don't need to do this, right? Where's the Ravage? Oh, I didn't move the cards over. So the Ravage is in the wetlands this turn. So actually, maybe Dread Apparitions would be good. We have to get 2 points of defense in this land to prevent it from blighting, or we have to drive some people out of it real fast. We can't put Gather Dahan into it because there's no Dahan nearby. They're too spread out. We got to get these guys out of here. Yeah, maybe what I want to get back is Dread Apparitions. Get in my hand. And then if we play Dread Apparitions and Flesh Rot Fever, that gives us a white and a red. Yeah, I think that's what we're doing. Okay, so we get 3 energy, but we're going to spend it, so I'm not even going to take it. So, Fast Powers. We are on 2 whites and 2 purples. Actually, we're at a place now where we can have 3 whites if we want. I guess it's not super relevant. We could use this to give us a second purple sometime, since we have 1 purple already. So if we play 3 whites and a red, that activates Night Terrors level 3. So that's cool. Let's just get rid of it. Let's just process Night Terrors first, because that's the easiest one. So it's fast. It has to target this land. We are on white, white, purple, red. We get 2 fear. That will cause the fear pool to flush, and then 1 fear to go back in. That puts this on the table. We unfortunately can't really do anything with it. He's just going to eat an explorer somewhere. It's not a big deal. Then we have... Wait a minute. I did a bad job here. I didn't generate enough defense. Oh, I let myself get all drawn away from the thing I was doing. Oh, it's terror level 2 now as well. And we get this, 2 whites and 2 purples we have easily. So I'm going to turn over the top card here. Each player may gather an explorer into a land with buildings or gather a town into a land with a city. So we need to do something. But I haven't left myself an ability to do something. Well, I screwed up. No, actually we're going to be fine. Because the fear card we have here will allow us to kill this explorer, and this will generate 1 defense. So we'll be able to kill this explorer, have a 1 defense here, the town will only deal 1. Yeah, we'll be okay. So Dread Apparatus targets here, and gives us a fear. So now we have Defend 1 in that region. And we processed all these already. So, Explorer Phase. Okay, we are in stage 2 right now. I know this says 3, but you're supposed to treat it as 2. Although I guess 2 and 3 are the same on this. So stage 2. Urbanization. In each land with at least 2 towns, replace half the towns with cities. I don't think that... Yeah, there are no such regions. Invaders do not ravage in lands with blight and strife. That's pretty irrelevant here. And then on each board, push 2 Dahan from a land with cities to a land without cities. There are no Dahan in lands with cities. Then we process this fear card. Remove an explorer from a land adjacent to a beast token. It's worth noting that the word remove is different from the word destroy from rules purposes. If we had removed a town with this, it would not give us a fear. It's not relevant right now. It's just something to, something to have in your brain for later. So we have a Wetlands Ravage where 1 damage is dealt to the wetlands, and then the Dahan fight back and kill the town, which generates us a fear. Then there is a build in the mountains, but not here and also not here. Disease token prevents it and then is removed. And then we have this level 3 card, which is Sand and Mountains. So we explore here and here. There aren't any buildings adjacent to these ones, though, so we're good. But we're going to have a build in the Sand and the Mountains next turn, followed by a Ravage in the Sand and the Mountains on the next turn. That early card is actually a huge pain. It does delay the stage 2 escalation by 1 turn, I suppose. That's something. Oh, man. And we have, all 3 of these cards left? This card's sort of levitating above the others. All 3 of these cards left, and then 3 more cards under that. And I think that's the way we gotta win, is by playing 6 more fear cards. Alright, and then we have a slow phase. So, within 1 range of our stuff, targeting a sand or a jungle, a fear, and add a disease. So, we get a fear, which gives us this card. So next turn, we will be able to gather some stuff. The fear pool flushes. And then we add a disease. Well, probably here, right? This is our target. Because now we don't have to worry about this. This won't build, and then when the Ravage comes, this won't ravage in any way that's meaningful. Yeah, seems good. This turn we probably need to reclaim cards, and remember this turn is the turn that we're going to have the event that we set up. So let's go ahead and reclaim. Where'd that card go? Oh, I missed my hand zone somehow. And then we gain a power card. Do we want to gain a major? We're going to get 3 energy. Probably not, right? I actually like all of our miners quite a lot, and we are going to need to spend energy doing stuff this turn. Let's gain another miner. Well, I see some yellows. Rouse the trees and stones. 2 damage, push a guy within 1 range of a sacred site. Can't target a place where there's already blight. That's fine. Uncanny Melting. Within 1 range of a sacred site, if invaders are present, a fear. If the land is a sand or a wetland, remove a blight. Okay, that's interesting. We don't have good blight control. Could be relevant. And it has a yellow. When that yellow card comes up, we have to forget a yellow power to discount it by 4, or we could just discard 2 yellow powers to lower the cost by 2 each, which is the same value. So if we take a yellow power right now, we can do that thing without having to get rid of our yellow cards, and then Gift of Constancy is something I would be fine forgetting for gaining a major power. Maybe that's the thing we should do. So Uncanny Melting is both a yellow power and a white power, which is actually really relevant. This might well be our pick. Call to Tend, remove a blight, or push up to 3 Dahan in a land within 1 that has Dahan already. And Song of Sanctity, if land has explorers, push all explorers, otherwise remove a blight, targets mountains and jungles. We're going to take Uncanny Melting. It's good for us to have a blight removal, and this plays into a couple of other interesting things that are going on in a way that I care about a lot. Alright, then we're going to get 3 energy, and then we're going to play a couple of cards here. So, we've got a pretty ugly Ravage this turn. Unfortunately, a pretty ugly Ravage that I don't know that we're going to be able to do anything about. We might just have to eat it. We know that the card that's coming up is going to generate some fear. And also that's going to do some other stuff that I don't remember what it is. We can gather An explorer into a land with a town or a city, or a town into a land with a city. You know what we might do? When we process that, we might pull this town into this land with a city, because it's already going to ravage hard enough to blight in a way that we probably can't do anything about. But it'll mean that during the build phase, we just build a town here instead of a city, and we'll still build a town here, because you only build a city if there are more towns than cities. It's still pretty bad, though. So we do have dread apparitions. We can defend 1 per fear. We would have to defend 4 here to prevent it from blighting. I can take this back. That's not, it's not a thing we can do, right? I don't think we can defend 4. We need to keep the 2 yellow cards in our hands. In our hand. We can Flesh Rot Fever. I don't know, that's not super relevant. Our fear pool is actually empty. If we played white, white, red, we would get Night Terrors, right? Because we could use this thing to generate us an extra purple. Almost all of our cards are white. In fact, we don't want to play Flesh Rot Fever, I don't think. So in fact, all of the cards we might play this turn are white, because we're also definitely not playing Gift of Constancy. So what if we played... We could almost get enough defense. It's a shame that almost doesn't really help us. We have to set up for next turn. So like, I think we kind of have to just like let this rot. It's going to be miserable and there's not a lot I can do about it. We have to try to set up to make this a real thing. So first of all, I think we need to have Dread Apparitions next turn so that we can use it here when the Ravage happens. So we probably want to save it, although we could reclaim it if we do need to play it. We would like to play a red card this turn. Maybe I play Predatory Nightmares just to... This will give us some control over how the board looks before the beginning of the next turn. And then we just need to play any other white card. We can play Dreams of the Dahan, targeting here, just get some fear. We could play this slow card. It won't be able to remove the blight that gets placed, so that's probably not right. Yeah, let's just play Dreams of the Dahan. These will be our 2 plays for the turn. So we have to pay 2 for that. And then we have our innate powers. Let's resolve these. So first of all, Night Terrors. Well, let's do this. So we have white, white, and we have purple, purple. So we get to turn up a face-down fear card. Let's turn this one up. So it'll be each player chooses a different land with Dahan. Invaders take 1 damage per Dahan there. Okay, a Dahan attack. That's cool. That's a thing we can make use of. And that's exactly the kind of thing that you want to see ahead of time and be able to plan around. This is what this power is meant for. And then, because we have 3 whites, we can add a symbol, but we actually don't need to. We hit 3 white, 2 purple, 1 red, naturally. And then we'll target Night Terrors. Here, we'll generate 3 fear. Oh, we're going to get that fear card. No, we're not. We're getting it. Oh, we will. We will if we do this. That's actually good, though, right? Invaders take 1 damage per Dahan there. We can have the Dahan kill the town. No, we use, we have the Dahan kill the invaders. We have the Dahan kill the explorers. Then we use this thing to shift the town. And then there's nothing happens in this desert. All of the invaders that mean anything will be concentrated in 1 land. And we can figure stuff out from there. Yeah, that'll be pretty good. So let's go ahead and process this. Dreams of the Dahan. Target land, invaders take a fear per Dahan, so we get 2 fear, which is going to cause a flush, and then 1 fear is going to go back in. We get this card. Man, we're getting through this fear stack. And then Predatory Nightmares is for later. So we're good. So the first thing that happens is an event in the Invader Phase. Hey, look at that. So we are going to curse the tongues of the foreigners. We will discard a yellow card to reduce the cost by 2, and then discard a yellow card to reduce the cost by 2. Okay, this did stack correctly. So, add a disease to a land with a city. That's pretty awesome, actually. Then 2 fear. Also pretty awesome. Then during the next normal ravage, cities do +3 damage, which is irrelevant because this land was going to blight out no matter what. We're going to take 10 damage here instead of 7 or something. And then each beast destroys a guy that's unfortunate. Can't really make use of that. But pretty good use of that thing. And now we don't have to worry about more missionaries arriving. We have made it clear to them that they are unwelcome. Okay, each player chooses a land with Dahan. Invaders take 1 damage per Dahan there. We will kill these explorers with our 2 damage. And each player may gather a town into a land with a city. We'll do that. Okay, so now there will be no building here. Pretty alright. And then they have their ravage. They do, 10. No, 10, because +3 for the city. They do 10. They get a blight. Now, if this land blights again, it will cascade, and we'll have to deal with the blighted island and stuff. Like, that would be bad. We got to figure this out, but we're in a good place, I think. And then build. No build occurs here because of the disease, and no build occurs here because of the disease. And then we explore. So the first thing we do is, on each board that has buildings, add a town to a land that has no towns. We're going to have a ravage. Alright, so we don't want to put it in the sands, but we probably want to keep it coastal so that we can keep the inland clear. So I'll put it here for now. We'll figure this out. I think that's a wise place to put it. And then explore sands. That does mean we get an extra explorer here because I just put a town adjacent to it, but it's fine, I think. Oh, that is a little bit of a problem because it means this ravage actually matters. We can probably fix it, though. And then slow phase. So, within 1 range of a thing, do 2 damage and then push up to 2 Dahan. So, we could do it here. Kill this explorer. Or sorry, it wouldn't kill the explorer, right? Because we're that guy. But it would push him. And then we can push these 2 Dahan to here. We can push him to here as well. We just go all in. I mean, it's a lot of damage. Because right now, if we move this explorer in here, we have 8 damage. We would have to defend 7 to get this place down to size. But we could do that. We could defend 7, maybe. So we do Dread Apparitions. Let's say we take this, right? We add a card, or we add a presence to this land. Dread Apparitions for 1. Night Terrors for another 2 or 3. When we play both of these, it'll be 3. Yeah. So Night Terrors for another 3, because we have to put a presence there because Night Terrors is 0 range. So in order to target here, we have to have a presence here. So that would put us at 4. We could call on Midnight's Dreams using the second half of it. And that would put us to 6. And that's not enough. Shoot. It is worth noting, though, that if we do that, we generate 6 fear, which is going to give us 2 more fear cards, and they'll both resolve when the terror level is 3. Alright, I don't know if that's going to be a thing that can win us the game, but it is what I'm going to do. We're going to commit really hard. So, this. We will do 2 damage here, which pushes this guy to here, and then we will push 2 Dahan to here. That'll leave only 2 cards in the stack. And there'll be a fear in the fear pool. Yeah, I think that's the right play, probably. We just got to figure out a way to make it work. So, discard these. Let's take this. So, I guess let's add it from here. We're going to gain a power as well, right? So we'll add a presence within one range of our existing presence. Then we'll gain a card. We're about to get 4 more energy. We need 2 to play this, so I think I am going to go get a major power now. Yeah, I think we get a major power now. And if it costs 4 or less, then it's something we could play. The land we're worried about is a mountain? Yeah, okay. So let's have a look at these. Sea monsters. A coastal or wetland. Add a beast, and then per beast token, 2 fear and 3 damage, and per blight 1 damage. And then if you have 3 blue and red, repeat this power. That's a really good card. I guess it would have to be for 5. Strangling Fire Mine. Within 1 range of a sand where you have presence. Not a thing we can do here. Destroy all explorers, add a wilds in the originating sands, and then 1 damage per wilds in and adjacent to the target. And if you have enough orange and green, also more damage. That's a really cool card. Vigor of the Breaking Dawn, 2 damage per Dahan in target land. That's very compelling. If you have symbols, which we won't... I don't think we have a lot of yellow. We do actually have some yellow, because we were picking up yellows on purpose. If you have those symbols, you may push up to 2 Dahan. In lands you push the Dahan 2, deal 2 damage per Dahan. And remember, we can get an extra yellow from our 1 power. That's also pretty interesting. And then here, Entwined Power. You and target spirit may use each other's presence to target powers. Target spirit gains a power card. This is not super good in single spirit games. You and target spirit each gain 3 energy. Yeah, okay, so not Entwined Power for sure. But it would be really cool if there was a white symbol anywhere. We still really want to be playing 2 white cards on most turns. Vigor of the Breaking Dawn, I think, is our winner. Sea Monsters is really cool. Add a beast. Per beast, 2 fear and 3 damage, which is often going to be a huge amount of fear in total. Maybe we do take Sea Monsters, because we could use Sea Monsters to generate a huge amount of fear and just run the game out. I'm going to take Sea Monsters. We can also generate a lot of fear with Vigor of the Breaking Dawn because of all the pushing and the damaging. It's cheaper. It's easier to use. Right, because if we Vigor of the Breaking Dawn here, for example, 2 damage per Dahan means we could push 2 towns, or we could fake destroy a city, and that's going to be like 4 to 5 fear. And then if we push 2 towns, we can push the Dahan after them and damage them again. Oh, we can only destroy each thing once per power, though, I guess. Now, we'll stick with Sea Monsters. I think Sea Monsters are good. They're certainly the splashy choice, and I do have strong feelings about that. So we'll take our income of 4 power. I won't be able to Sea Monster this turn. We have stuff to do this turn anyway. But we'll Sea Monster next turn, and it'll be great. Okay, so let's do this thing. So first of all, we're going to use this. So we can turn a face-down fear card face up. Let's have a look at this one. So it's going to be terror level 3 when we play this. Each player removes... Okay, that solves our problem right there. We can remove a town, and it will lower the damage dealt in that region by enough. Oh, sorry, we haven't heard this yet. We just know it. Okay, and then we gain an element that we have at least 1 of. We don't need to, though, because we're on 3 whites and 2 purples and a red. Alright, then we do Dread Apparitions, targeting here. And we generate a fear, which gives us this card. And a brand new beautiful terror level. And actually, we're going to win. Yeah, we're going to have just enough... The Dahan are going to deal enough damage to destroy the city. I mean, let's not say that yet. We don't know what the event is. It could be bad. Okay, and then we are going to do Night Terrors in this land, 0 range, where we have presence. So we're going to accumulate 3 more fear. So now we're defend 4. And then we're going to call on Midnight's Dreams at 0 range, here where there are invaders, and we're going to gain 2 more fear. Fear pool fills and flushes, and 1 goes back in. We get another fear card, but we don't know what this one says. And that makes us defend 6 here. Okay, and then their turn. So we're in stage 2. Invaders do +1 damage per land when ravaging. I think we're still fine. And then add a disease to the jungle or wetland with the most buildings, which is this one. That's a real kick in the teeth for them. And then remove a blight from a land that has at least 2 Dahan. Wow. That event was a real kick in the dick. Like that. How unfortunate for them. Okay, then we get our fear cards. So first thing is this one. Each player adds a strife in a different land with at least 2 invaders, then each invader with strife deals damage to other invaders in its land. Are you kidding me? So we strife the city, then it deals 3 damage to invaders. Ridiculous. Does it say other invaders? Or can it be... Okay, other invaders. It cannot kill itself. So it'll do 2 damage to this town and 1 damage to this explorer, which I guess generates us a fear. That was some crazy good luck. To be fair, luck we didn't need. We were on it. Then we process this card. Each player removes an explorer and a town from... Or explorer or a town from any land. We remove this town. Yeah, sure. And then stuff. So they do +1 damage when ravaging. That means they do blight here. So ravage. Sorry, they blight here no matter what. So first, in this mountain, this guy deals no damage. And then we pull the strife token. So these 2 explorers deal a total of 3 damage here. We defend 6. And then we counterattack with 4 damage from the Han, killing this city. And we win the game. Victory condition is there are no cities. It also causes us to play the second to last fear card. And like we extremely win. In a whole bunch of ways we win. And then a blight would get placed over here. We'd lose a presence or whatever. Except we win. That went really well. I don't know if I agree that this guy is very weak. He seems extremely good and cool. I think Dread Apparitions is a crazy good power. It's like a huge number of turns, like half of the turns of the game. You're going to be able to just make a land not be able to take damage. Sometimes, like, we had 2 card plays there, and we were able to get defend 6 on a land while also doing important stuff like moving the fear counters up and stuff. This guy seems very good to me. I like him a lot. I didn't pay for my powers. There. Legal game state. We win. Okay. I guess that's going to be it for this game. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that it has been useful to you or entertaining. You know, that's a use. Entertaining or useful in any other way. Come back next time. I don't know. We might do more Spirit Island. I might try to ratchet up the difficulty and maybe even the complexity. Because there's no hidden information or anything, there's no reason that one player can't just play multiple spirits, so maybe I'll do that. But I think this one might get another couple of videos, because I'm having a lot of fun and there's a lot of variability to it. If there are any games that you'd like to see me play on the channel, as always, please leave them in the comments below, because I would love to do the things that will be interesting to you. And, you know, thank you guys very much for watching. And we'll see you next time.